And you and your friends' references and the way you talk about women behind the scenes has been so sexist too.
I don't even know what this is about. Tommy went with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible. I'm sure Tommy can knock out videos pretty quick because at one point he had a literal editor sweatshop where his editors made less than minimum wage. And we're also getting fans to edit the videos for free for them.
The dream cook. I don't know actually, but everyone, hope you're doing great. One of the biggest dramas I think I will fizzle up pretty soon is the Dream versus TommyInnit drama, because it's very apparent with both of them that they have quite a lot to be saying about each other. It all started with a small back and forth on Twitter, Dream talking about it on stream, and then Tommy making a video simply called Dream. Wow, very powerful title. But when I watched that video, I came away from it with not a lot. It was just simply a 5-minute long recording of his webcam of him just saying how Dream was a piece of shit for slagging off his friends, harassing his mom for one message, that was it, and how Dream was a movie villain. All the meanwhile, not showing any evidence of what he's talking about. But when that video came out, it led to Dream saying he's gonna make a response video, which now has come out, and honestly, there are some parts I think deserve to be talked about because they look pretty bad for Tommy, but then there are also some points that made me question what Dream was trying to get across because it didn't look that good on him. So I'm gonna make this video in 2 segments. Number 1, for this middle piece, it'll be about all the good parts, because the video, it wasn't that bad. There were, like I said, some decent points. The first one being, which I didn't really care that much about, was how he wants you to apologize again for saying the word retard. I'm not gonna say the R word because I don't give a shit. You just said retard, and I don't really care for the apology because I don't find that offensive. But I think it's good because in his community they made it very clear that they hate that shit. Also later on, it goes like how he thinks it's retarded that Tommy, defend his friends when they were calling Dream a pedo. He defended that by saying that his friends just had good hearts, and that's enough.
In your stream you slagged off a lot of my pals. Come on, mate. I mean, my friends are all idiots, but they have bloody good hearts.
And yet, to be honest, that is retarded. In any other drama or situation, if someone defended their friends slandering other people as pedos, and they just said they had good hearts, yeah, people would laugh at you, because that's moronic. But again, with Tommy's fan base and how much they love him, yeah, they just took it in, no questioning at all. Another part I saw was interesting was how Tommy will dog on people like Snapnap and George Not Found. Meanwhile, Dream showed evidence of how when they were at TwitchCon, he seemed pretty friendly, and how that could be evidence of him being pretty two-faced, shitting on people, but being friendly with them.
I mean, you didn't have a problem interviewing Sapnap in one of your videos recently?
Sapnap! Well, Sapnap, you see, today I'm no longer TommyInnit, famed Minecraft YouTuber. I'm actually Professor Respect. Okay, well, it's good to see you. Yeah.
Oh, and you tried to interview George, but he walked away because he didn't want to be in your video. So there's 2 options. Either 1, they're not bad people, or 2, you don't care enough to not profit off of them.
Then yeah, it does look like disingenuous, to be friendly with them, on camera, in those situations, because you don't really believe what you say, that these people are horrible human beings. And then the conversation pivoted to the merch and how it was bullshit that Tommy criticized Dream for having ugly merch, when in reality, his friends and family were helping him make it. And yeah, fair enough, but I think it would be a fair point that at the end of the day, it is yourself, Dream, that ships this stuff to the fans and makes money off it. Fair enough, but the main part of the merch was then pivoted to how Tommy's merch was made with allegedly sweatshop workers back in the day, when he was making it.
Tommy went with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible. Unfortunately, that company also scammed a bunch of his viewers, and multiple of his creator friends got scammed and literally never got paid, and the company went bankrupt.
The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it.
Some have been defrauded, others are associated, and most are plain embarrassed.
This is actually true and was investigated by CoffeeZilla.
Well, he referenced, if you remember, the CoffeeZilla video, the insane creator scam, where for a quick rundown, he exposed like a big guy who's running for a bad company on how they just scammed people, like if they wanted merch, they would do it for him very cheaply with, unethical practices, as sweatshop workers, and then they would scam them. And, for this part, I think the part is interesting because for any person, in this video, people were like Mr. Beast and, Anthony Padilla, they were brought up as victims of the scam. I think for them, the question of, like, why did you, hire these people that use sweatshop workers to make your merch? And they would make the valid excuse that I had no idea. Like, all they did was just go to, like, one guy that they trusted, and then they would make it for them, and that's it. They had no idea, of what was really going on behind the scenes. So even though Tommy could make the same point, I don't want you to see, how his fans will react to that. I remember, like, this scam was, uncovered, like, back a year ago. So if they hear about that, or, it gets uncovered again for a second time, I don't want you to see how they react to that for a second time. Because Tommy's fans, will rip apart anyone for the minor stuff. So if they see mention of sweatshop workers, making the merch, yeah, they would have a pretty bad reaction for Tommy. And the other good parts that Dream brought up that were very dumb points made by Tommy was how, again, he harassed his mom while she was being divorced over just one message. And that, when you watch Tommy's video, if he's very like manipulated, like, being like, oh my god, guys, my mom was being harassed, feel bad for her and me. When in reality, if you look at the message, it didn't seem like, it didn't seem like, it was in a bad nature at all, like just being very friendly. And then the other part I mentioned in my other videos was the George Now Found stuff, which, again, I barely understand like the full picture behind the situation. That was like, a long time ago. Even Dream in the videos being like, what the fuck you talking about? Because that situation was uncovered with George being innocent, and also, what bad things did I say, Dream was saying, about with George defending him, because nothing bad was shown in Tommy's video, which he should have, it was really appalling and disgusting, as he claimed so.
And you and your friends' references and the way you talk about women behind the scenes has been so sexist too. Shame on you guys.
I don't even know what this is about. You don't provide any context or evidence to what you're saying.
Okay, but now comes the bad and the weak points. With one thing I want you to pull back from, because in Dream's stream, it may seem like Tommy was very clearly being two-faced with a lot of people. With one example being how he was being friendly with Logan Paul, but then also he was shitting on him for the sake of, for good boy points. However, in the evidence he showed of the DMs, there's a pretty big time gap between those messages and when Tommy really started shitting on him, which started in October, but then those messages being back in March. So about a 7-month time gap. So if I was Tommy, I would just say, well, yeah, back then I liked them, but over time, over 7 months, I slowly liked them less. I stopped being friends with them. And if he said that, completely normal response, because again, 7 months is a very long period of time to slowly turn on someone, and it wouldn't feel as disingenuous as Dream was making it to be. If Tommy was cheating on Logan Paul, on the same day, he's being friends with him in the DMs, then yeah, that would be two-faced. But it was quite a bit of time apart. The other part that I think Dream fucked up a lot was this section right here, where I can't believe it. He alleged Tommy's having his editors be like sweatshop workers, where quote unquote he was paying them, criminally below minimum wage, and how somebody was just getting £50. But I'm gonna say now, this point sucks ass, because by itself it makes no sense, and with the evidence he shows, nothing was proven. Right, he's saying like how he was getting fans, Tommy's fans, to work for him. However, you would know, like, any person that's a fan of a creator, they probably wouldn't mind working for a person for free. So for them, in their list of criteria, the most important things, number one would be, working for a person that they like, and then the money would be second. So if they don't care about the money in the first place, then yeah, who cares how much they get? And also again, being an editor, for a YouTuber, is like a very informal job where, there's two sides. The boss, Tommy, could pay them whatever they want, but also the employee, if they feel scammed or robbed, they can leave whenever they want. it's very evident that these people, if they're still working for Tommy, then yeah, the money's not the issue. They just care about, working for Tommy because they just like him. That's it. And what I was saying before about the evidence, the one thing that you can scrounge up for the video is just, some DMs in Discord, where just saying, yeah, he paid me £50. Which for some people could be a lot, could be, nothing, doesn't really matter. But if you want to prove that they were being scammed and they were pissed off, then yeah, show something like, oh my god, fuck the guy Tommy, he was robbing me. I worked for 10 hours and he barely paid me. That would be good. But yeah, nothing of that nature was shown here. So if you check Twitter right now, the first thing that someone called out saying how, oh well, I work for Tommy, and that thing about being like sweatshop workers is absolute bullshit because he paid me almost £1,000. So I think this part of Dream's video should have been backed up with better stuff, if the editors were really being underpaid as he claimed. And also in the video, in the clip, he shows like stock free footage of people working really hard with a caption of TommyInnit stands editing for free. Again, if you're a fan and you want to do it for free, fair enough. Tommy's under no legal obligation to pay you a lot. So if Dream got that, this section could probably been cut out, but it hasn't. It's still here, and it looks pretty bad. So those were two pretty bad parts of the video. I think the last three I want to bring up, which is more weak gay points. And one thing you brought up that I think was so embarrassing was how Dream was saying against Tommy, well, if you think I'm a bad guy, then why do you still have videos of me, my sister, and my mom, whatever? Why do you still have the videos up on your channel?
And I mean, you talk about how terrible of a person I am while leaving up videos with my sister and mom, and of course dozens with me, while lying and exaggerating about me.
And if I was Tommy, I would just say, well, back then you were a completely different person, but now I completely hate you. So it's like a ship of feces, two different people. So it doesn't make a difference if he has those videos up. Like it's not, being a hypocrite. And then he also gave Tommy the ultimatum that if he takes any videos with him, that he made on his channel, then he himself, Dream, will take down any videos that he had with him.
Because you feel strongly enough to make an entire dedicated video on your channel hating on me, you can go ahead and take down every video of yours that I'm in, and I'll take down every video of mine that you're in.
That's really gay. Like, surely there are bigger parts, to be contesting over than just videos up on your channel. And also, oh my god, the ending as well. Please watch this part and tell me that's not soy boy cringe with how fucking forced in it sounds.
And Tommy, you mentioned being proud of yourself. I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of everything that you've accomplished. But you don't need to put other people down to lift yourself up.
Okay, I really don't want to suck my own dick, but I made an exact tweet about this, where people like Dream and Tommy, they want to rip each other's throats out, but then somehow they find a way to be like, okay, listen, you're a really good man. If you want to be friends, that's fine. I think you're making some very dumb points. Right, if you hate somebody, which they clearly hate each other, don't force in this path, of how you still want to be friends and how you see the good in each other. You definitely don't, and I can clearly tell that you both hate each other with a burning passion. Now, let me finish this by saying that I've said multiple times that I think Dream is the lesser of two evils. Like, I always evaluate someone on how, how rational they are, how well they can argue their own points. And I feel like Dream has done a better job at that before compared to Tommy, who was only mainly made tweets and, that 5-minute long video, which was, barely anything. But if I had to be honest, I think this response could have been made better, because some parts are alleging big things with evidence that don't really show that, like the blog and porn messages and the sweatshop editors part, which only gives ammunition to Tommy to prove how Dream is a lying moron. And I'm only saying this because, I think for Dream, with how aggressive Tommy's being against him and how Tommy's fans, will agree with whatever he says, I think he's on a much more unfair ground where people will just hate him no matter what he says. But yeah, I think Tommy will make a pretty short response to this, because some of these points are not so strong and they can be proven easily with barely any evidence. Because Tommy right now, he's living like every YouTuber's dream in this scenario where he can just win over fans by making a short response with absolutely no effort at all put into it.